The AV-8B Harrier II is one of the most iconic and instantly recognizable jets in modern aviation. Known for its unique vertical takeoff and landing capabilities, it stands as a powerful symbol of innovation, engineering daring, and battlefield adaptability. Watching the Harrier launch of an aircraft carrier, rising almost vertically into the sky or making an impossibly short jump off the deck, is like seeing the loss of aviation momentarily rewritten. In this video, we're diving deep into one such moment, an insane jump takeoff that is as mesmerizing as it is technically complex. Let us start with the basics. The AV-8B Harrier II, a second-generation VTOL, short takeoff and vertical landing, jet, was developed primarily for the United States Marine Corps. It is a descendant of the British Hawker Siddeley Harrier, and the AV-8B took the original design and enhanced it with a new airframe, more powerful engine, and modern avionics. The result is a jet capable of operating from short or damaged runways, forward operating bases, and, crucially, amphibious assault ships and aircraft carriers. Now imagine this, a steel deck surrounded by endless ocean, barely the length of a city block, and a jet loaded with fuel and ordnance racing toward the end. And then, with a powerful blast from its nozzles, it lifts off in a steep, dramatic arc that looks more like a leap of faith than a traditional takeoff. That is the Harrier jump, and it is not just showmanship. It is the product of intricate coordination between thrust vectoring, airframe balance, and pilot skill. So, what is happening under the hood during that moment? At the heart of the Harrier's magic is its Rolls-Royce Pegasus turbofan engine. Unlike traditional jets that expel thrust straight backward, the Harrier's engine can rotate its exhaust nozzles downward, allowing it to lift off vertically like a helicopter. During a jump takeoff, the pilot typically angles the nozzles to a partial downward position, known as vectoring in forward flight, which creates both lift and forward thrust. This technique is key to the aircraft's ability to perform short takeoffs from ships, where a traditional runway isn't available. In a typical scenario, the Harrier starts its roll down the deck using a combination of forward motion and vectored thrust. As it nears the edge of the flight deck, the nozzles are further rotated downward, providing the final kick needed to lift the jet clear of the surface. It is this moment, the split-second transition from rolling to flying, that creates the visual drama of a jump. The aircraft seems to leap off the deck, arching sharply into the sky. But don't be fooled by how effortless it looks. Pulling off such a maneuver demands immense concentration from the pilot. Every element, from throttle management to nozzle angle, pitch control, and wind compensation, has to be executed with precision. And when you factor in variables like sea state, ship motion, and deck configuration, the margin for error becomes rather thin. That is why Harrier pilots undergo rigorous training, not just in flight dynamics but also in how to work with the unique environments of carrier operations. They are trained to read the deck, anticipate wind gusts, and feel the behavior of the aircraft with a level of intuition that only comes from hundreds of hours in the cockpit. Now, about that insane jump we're focusing on, what makes it particularly striking is the speed and steepness of the takeoff. Unlike vertical liftoff, which looks more like a hover, the jump uses the forward motion to create lift over the wings while still relying on vectored thrust. The result is a curved launch trajectory that is fast, controlled, and deeply satisfying to watch. It is a maneuver designed to conserve fuel, reduce engine stress, and enable a fast departure from the ship, all critical elements during a high-tempo combat operation. There is another reason these jumps matter. By taking off with partial forward motion and vectored thrust, the Harrier can launch with a heavier payload than it could in pure vertical mode. Vertical takeoff is incredibly fuel and thrust intensive. It limits how much weight the aircraft can carry, especially in hot weather or at sea level. But with a short takeoff run and a bit of extra lift from the wings, the Harrier can depart with more weapons, more fuel, or both, significantly increasing its combat effectiveness. That is part of what made the Harrier such a valuable asset to the Marine Corps. Whether operating from the deck of a Wasp-class assault ship or a makeshift airstrip carved out of a jungle clearing, the Harrier could deliver close air support wherever and whenever it was needed. It didn't require long runways, expensive infrastructure, or perfect conditions. All it needed was a bit of space, a trained crew, and the will to make it work. And while today's aviation headlines are dominated by fifth-generation stealth fighters like the F-35B Lightning II, which, it should be noted, inherits many of the Harrier's STOVL principles, the Harrier remains a mechanical marvel in its own right. In fact, many marine pilots who have flown both say the Harrier, with its direct mechanical controls and raw, responsive power, feels more like flying a machine than a computer. There is a kind of purity to it, an aircraft that demands respect, punishes carelessness, and rewards skill. The jump takeoff we're watching is a perfect embodiment of that philosophy. It is not automated. It is not digital. It is human and mechanical and risky and beautiful. And that is part of why people love watching these clips over and over. It is not just the spectacle. It is the understanding, conscious or subconscious, that what we're seeing is the product of experience, courage, and the mastery of one of aviation's most complex platforms. Even from a design standpoint, the Harrier looks like something out of science fiction. With its chunky fuselage, high-mounted wings, and distinctive air intakes, it doesn't conform to traditional jet aesthetics. Add to that the force swiving nozzles under its fuselage, and you've got a silhouette that is instantly recognizable, even to casual viewers. It is a design that communicates function over form, yet somehow manages to look aggressively futuristic even decades after its debut.